you also have to look at how long the tournament goes for, because if they had gone for a best of seven, and if they had gone for both semis will be casted, then we will have a very long.
We actually had. I mean, I know we played the semifinals concurrently, but even going into the semis, it was a fairly quick tournament today.
Yeah, it's been very quick. You know, maybe a little bit unfortunately, you know, if you want some StarCraft, if you want to tune into as much as possible, a lot of these series have been going fairly quickly, not as many long drawn-out macro games. But yeah, you know, that may change here as we are getting into our finals of ESL Open Cup number 21 Asia.
That means it can drink in America.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah. But it's years, not weeks. But yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. And here we are now, going to be spawning into our finals of our ESL Pro Tour number 21 Asia Open Cup. I think as we go on, we're just finding more and more ways to sort of butcher the name of the tournament. Hopefully ESL doesn't kick us for it. But here we are, going to be spawning in on Everdream, L-E-E-D-L-E, Edle. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. It is going to be our red Protoss player all the way from the land of Korea. He is arguably the scariest player to face in this matchup right now. He has been much known. He's been given the title of the best, or the moniker I should say, not really a title. He is representing Raise Your Edge Gaming, RYEach. It's Zest.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the Korean Protoss player, and Yaku.
Yeah.
Are you free?
On Afrika TV?
We have, representing Afrika Freaks, it is the Korean Protoss player, it is Nick Fury himself. Stats.
I'm a little bit weirded out here, like, because I feel like the Afrika Freaks player we cast the most of disproportionately is Armani. That was actually the joke back when we covered IEM.
Yeah.
Was that we I think Corky made that meme, I'm a CranKy Duckling, so I must cast Armani. And even in these Open Cups, it's kind of we've kind of continued that, so the Are You Free thing, the Afrika Freaks intro, has kind of become synonymous with Armani. I was like, whoa, you're not talking about the World of Warcraft trolls, or you're not talking about the fashion brand? I'm like, oh right, there are other players on that team.
Yeah, we have casted a lot of Armani on this channel, and it's been great to see. Like, honestly, I love watching Armani. You know, he isn't a dark, he isn't a Stu, but despite that, like, he's a solid player. He gives solid games as well. Bit of a shame that we didn't catch him today, even though he did play today. And we'll see how his teammate performs here in the finals. As Yaku, we talk about it all the time. Look at what we got.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Stargate versus Robo, as you do,
that's
at least
tradition.
once in every PvP series.
I think it is their legal obligation for all Protoss players playing a PvP to do that particular build.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to see how it plays out. Generally, Robo is a little bit... It can be favored versus, okay, here's the thing. Robo, a lot more versatile. You can get Stalkers out, and a Warp Prism, you can get Immortals out, and a Warp Prism, you can get Observers out, and whatnot. And in the early game, the Protoss player who went for a Stargate, what are they gonna do to you? It's almost like the dynamic of Roaches versus Mutalisks. What are the Mutalisks gonna do to the Roaches that early in the game? And it's kind of similar here. On the flip side of that, Phoenixes, they can crowd control units, then pick off Warp Prisms as well. Oracles, they can do quite a bit of damage, so...
Yeah, at the end of the day, it does kind of come to the micro and the control of each player's army, because each one has their own advantage, right? Like, we do have one player who has the Warp Prism micro potential, but you also have to protect the Warp Prism with your ground army from those Phoenixes. And yeah, again, the Phoenixes, they have a lot of potential as well, but you have to micro them and make sure you angle the right way and you get that damage done.
And indeed you do. That Warp Prism is absolutely your priority right now if you're Zest, trying to take that out just to deny all of the micro potential from stats. And we do see him going into it, getting a lot of Stalkers, getting Blink on top of that. Not getting any Phoenixes out yet, which is a little bit strange to me, but I'm guessing he's counting more on the Stalker count. Ooh, nice little pull away here from stats, but
yeah,
unfortunately
Zest
missing one more.
He definitely should take note that the army isn't at home, it is here in his natural. So now Zest, does he have enough at home to defend? He has one shield battery and nothing but Stalkers.
I think he's aware. He's buying time for that blink to happen, and this is actually a very sizable army here for Zest, for the time being at any rate. Again, it's all going to be coming down to this micro. There is a chance for Zest to blink through and try to snipe key units, but that's going to be a tough ask. That's something very difficult to pull off. Nice hot pickup coming up here from stats, keeping his sentry alive. And again, that's what you want to prioritize right now, along with your Warp Prism. A lot of probes from Zest are starting to go down thanks to the Adept Shade in. And stats just got so much value done, getting a gateway, getting those probes, and now recalling back home. This was absolutely free for stats.
I love the way he played that out, because there are definitely Protoss players who would take that advantage and would stay there and try and end the game. But instead, Stats, he expanded behind this, he was probing up, he deals all that damage, he destroys a bunch of gateways, he crushes the production of Zest, and now he recalls, he's at home defensively.
And he has a counterattack, and yeah, exactly. Because he knows Zest has a counterattack. So he's just setting up defensively, and this might actually be a bit too much. Really good micro coming out from Stats' Warp Prism. The Blink Stalker is not quite able to get under that. Keeps his Immortals alive, and Stats has bled out quite a bit of army, but in the end, not enough damage was done by Zest. GG is called, and now we're starting to see how Stats 3-0 trap.
Exactly, that was beautifully played, and we saw Zest kind of all in there. He was down to one base. He blinked on top of one of the Immortals, trying to focus him down, but Stats was just on point with his Warp Prism micro, was able to save his Immortals, both of them towards the end, and yeah, he was...
We talked about it.
That was amazing.
We talked about it in the Creator series, like just how one-sided it looked. That it was almost art. It was almost beautiful. Just how clean and dominant Trap was in that series. Stats is showing us quite a bit of that, and he took out Trap.
Yeah, I would say that it was beautiful. Trap versus Creator was beautiful to see. And here, Stats, he is playing it out a little bit differently, but still very dominant. Like, he was pushing out on the map, and he already had his natural on the way. I'm like, oh, like he's expanding behind this. Like Zest, he technically should have enough units at home, but no, he didn't at all. Like Stats, he just had the better army, and wow.
All I can conclude from that, Light, is I hope Quirky's watching.
Yeah.
And speaking of quirky, we are now going to be loaded in onto a fairly quirky map. It is going to be Nightshade, otherwise known as Belladonna. L-E. L-E, of course, standing for Liquidated Extremities. Liquidated Extremities. That's when you're using a lot of words that are rated NC-16-ish, and so it's a more family-friendly show. So you gotta censor that out, and so that you would say would be extremities that are being liquidated. Expletives. That's the actual word I was thinking of. But what are extremities? God, I don't think that's a word. Where? Okay, moving on. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spotting in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, are Red Protoss, all the way from the land of Korea. He is known as the best. He is representing Raise Your Edge Gaming, RYEJ. We have Zest.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Nightshade LE, we have the Korean Protoss player representing Afrika Freaks, Afrika TV, and
the Reigns.
and Shield itself, we have the Shield of Ire. It is Stats.
Oh boy.
Okay, so here we do have a scouting pylon for Zest. Again, I think Trap did something similarly, or it was Creator in their series. It is a nice position for a scouting pylon on this map, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. As so far as stats, he hasn't opted to go for a proxy.
Yeah, it does not mean that he's not going to be sending out a harassment force from that sort of area, but you know, it's good. It's good for Zest to have that spotter regardless.
Yeah, it is. It is nice to see as we do have stats actually blocking. He blocked the probe into the main. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessary, but okay, sure.
Well, necessary, perhaps not, but yeah, it's going to be a pretty boring life if you only do what's necessary.
I feel like that was like a power move.
It absolutely was. This is why I'm the director of Shield.
Oh god.
You don't even have an application pending.
And I think this is the first time we've seen both players like get their expansions at a pretty regular time. Like normally we see Protoss players stay on one base for a lot longer. Today we've had a lot more aggressive styles, we've had a lot more proxies, but now we're getting into a regular game.
What, in a PvP?
To the point where this is irregular. This is an irregular game.
Exactly. Now, I'm just keeping my eyes on the tech buildings on both of these players. That's a forge coming out from Zest. Ooh. And this is going to indicate that Zest, he looked like it was going to be standard, but now he's going to pile on top of the aggression. Going to be going for somewhat of a +1 timing. Again, just got to keep your eyes on those tech buildings. What is he going to research out of that Templar Archives? Is he going to get a robo facility behind this? Perhaps even a robo bay? A lot of ways that +1 timing can go in a PvP.
And we'll see what kind of like main gateway composition he decides to go for, as we do see Blink on the way.
There's that charge. Blink was cancelled.
Yeah, there we go. Because I was going to say that typically you see +1 like forge openers with zealots, like charge lots, +1 charge. But it also feels a little bit like out of fashion as well. So I was kind of, I was doubting myself, and there we have it. We will be seeing a bunch of zealots on the way for Zest. Will Stats be able to scout this, as they both are on point with their hallucination scouts? Yeah,
they both have a lot of vision on each other.
Engaging the enemy.
That they do, and Stats opting instead to go for that robo opener. Still no Twilight Council, no Forge, none of those upgrades. Instead playing pretty straight up with his Stalkers and I imagine War Prison.
Yeah, once again, it's almost a repeat of the previous game. The main difference this time is Stats now knowing that Zest hasn't opted for
sees the Forge
hasn't opted for this big sort of Stalker style. Will be going in Immortalless.
Yeah, and again, we did see the Stats. He scouted everything in the main base. He saw the Forge. He saw the Twilight Council. He knows what he's going up against, and he's looking to apply pressure before those upgrades come into play.
Will he come into the shade? Will he come into the shade? He does, and he is looking to one-shot these sentries. It's absolutely crucial right now for Stats to take them out as the fight starts. The shield battery is depleted of energy. The boys have been pulled for Stats. It might just be a little bit too much here for Stats. The War Prism juggling is absolutely immense, and is this how Zest GG's out of this game? It very well could be. The War Prism gets taken out, but so much damage has already been done.
Yeah, and it's so important that Zest was trying to focus the Warp Prism, but the Warp Prism was just able to finish off its last Warp in before it got taken out. Those extra Stalkers were warped in. 20 workers went down for Zest.
21 now, and again, Stats just gonna recall what's left of his army, reinforce back at home. He knows that it's on Zest to counterattack and do damage. He knows that Zest is all in at this point. This is dominant. Hashtag dominant.
And Zest, he's crippled right now. He lost so many workers that he can't go with his plan. He was looking to go for a charge lot +1 timing. The timing is over, and he just doesn't have enough money to support those charge lots, all of those zealots that he was planning to make. And now Stats, like he's looking solid right now. He's looking dominant.
My jaw is locked right now, Light. I cannot close my mouth. I am so in awe of what we're seeing. This is what Quirky's proud.
Yeah. He's proud, and if he's not, he's somewhere out. If he's not watching, he's out there, and he's got a smile on his face. He doesn't even know why. It is because of Stats and his performance here today. As we are kind of trying to transition Zest, he's trying to rebuild his economy. His original plan was thwarted. He's forced to stay back at home instead. He can't counterattack, and he will have an upgrade advantage. He is working on +2. That is definitely something that he has going for him, but he just has so much more to catch up on.
Indeed, he does. He is getting a little bit desperate. Going to be throwing down at Templar Archives, which Archons, when you're fighting in your natural base like this, they are absolutely one of the best defensive units that you can have out there. But again, Stats just has so much.
Yeah, and it's not ready yet. Like, there are no Archons done. The Immortals are coming in here for Stats. Stats looking for round number 2, looking to finish the game here.
I didn't even notice how many gateways he had.
Yeah. He has so many more gateways. He's worked in all these stickers.
This is looking like it's about to be it. I highly doubt that that Stats, or Zest rather, can mount a defense. It's again,
yeah, the War Prisoners are out of energy. You know, the fight has been prolonged.
GG. We are not even 20 minutes into this finals, and Stats is on match point.
Are we gonna see a 3-0? Are we gonna see Stats? Are we gonna see Stats 3-0 Trap and then 3-0 Zest in the same tournament?
What a lad! 2 of the best PvP players out there in the world right now, and his Stats just gonna dunk on them.
Hey, he is Nick Fury. He's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and there's a reason for that. And this game, he's showing that just because he's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't mean that he has to be on the defensive all the time. Like, he's been staging so many good offensives here, and just, you know, playing it safe, recalling at the end of everything, and he's just been looking so good today.
Absolutely. I'm almost speechless here, Light. Wowee. This goes to show you how, I don't know, I guess the different dynamics on why players are dominant in particular matchups, right?
Yeah.
Zest is usually because he's a player that has really good game sense. He also has really good builds to capitalize on top of that game sense. Stats is just going in with, I don't know, it looks near perfect right now. I think I'm gonna have to calm down, because otherwise it's gonna be just us, a little bit of a circle jerk, if you will, here, at least amongst myself. So we are gonna be calming down here, onto Zen LE, where we are all calm, and we understand that LE does in fact stand for laughter ensues. Laughter ensues. That's what happens whenever you cast Patience. We're here in your bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning in your bottom left-hand corner of the map. We do in fact have our red Protoss player. Historically, he has been a monster in this matchup. He has been given the moniker of the best. Now he's looking like he's in a lot of trouble. This is his final chance to start turning things around. He is representing Raise Your Edge Gaming, RYEJ. We have, from the land of Korea, it's Zest.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have potentially, as we are nearing match point, potentially the last time we will intro these players. So Yaku, do you want to do it? Do you want to take it away?
I'm gonna have to ask you, Light, are you free?
Down in Africa.
Do. That's a tune that keeps playing every time he loads in. We have now actually proxying for the first time that we see him. He is the blue Protoss, Quirky's eldest boy, and he better be watching. He better be watching as a proud father. We have representing a freak of freaks, all the way from the land of Korea, Nick Fury himself. He is Stats.
And Stats, he's kind of doing something unexpected. Every single one of these games, he hasn't gone for a proxy, but
it's Robo versus Robo Light. When was the last time we've seen this in a PvP?
It's never happened.
Never in the history of the world. This has never happened. It's never been done.
First right here, folks. This is how PvP has evolved as a meta, as a matchup. In Korea, we have Robo versus Robo. And as a proxy, I kind of want to give the edge to Stats. We'll see, as we do have a couple of adepts moving out for Zest, moving out across the map. We'll see how Stats is able to deny the scout, is able to deal with them, as he also has the stalkers out on the map, but they do miss the adepts.
That they do, in fact, miss. Zest now does see the proxy out. Knows it's there's going to be a robo, so this could very well be the information that Zest needs to start turning things around. We will still have to see his response, though.
Yeah, definitely. And in a game like this, I do kind of want to give the edge a little bit to Zest, as he did scout the proxy. He has all the information he needs, and as we always say, information is key, especially in a matchup like PvP.
Just remember this rhyme.
Exactly, as we do already have a War Prism out for Zest. Not quite done yet for Stats, so Zest is looking to try and depower that Robo. Oh, never mind. He's actually not. He's actually going around instead, and that could be a mistake. I'm not too sure. As Stats, he's already at the front door of Zest.
Yeah, this is a little bit questionable, to say the least, but I would give Zest the benefit of the doubt. I feel like he does know what his plan is. He does have or rather, I think he does have a plan. I think he knows exactly what he's going for. And this is actually this is actually a pretty good value. Zest gets the scout off, knows that it's going to be a Stargate follow-up coming up from Stats. Keeps his adepts alive. Yeah, he keeps both of his adepts alive. So this was probably better for Zest. He does have to worry about...
Yeah, Stats, he is already here at the front. If Zest isn't too careful, he could get force fielded down into the natural, so he does have to be careful. It looks like a recall was used to call back the War Prism, and Stats does eventually back off.
Yeah, so I think in the end, this will work out a little bit for Zest here, so long as he's on top of things, really. I don't know, Stats is looking really good on making sure his opponents aren't on top of things, or just even out-mechanicking, out-microing them. Just,
I mean, I do like what Stats is doing right now, because he's forcing 2 Immortals to stay at home for Zest. Meanwhile, he was only harassing with 1. So I will say, like, he does come out a little bit ahead there, but Zest does come out. He does depower the Robo for Stats, so that will stop his Robo production. As Zest, he's going for
facility being thrown down, which I would consider to be a little bit questionable, considering that he did scout that Stargate coming off. I think he is. I'm thinking that Zest is thinking that Stats isn't going to go too Stargate heavy. Maybe get a couple of Phoenixes here and there, but mostly focus on gateways. This could be a miscalculation that costs Zest the game.
I was gonna say that I don't think this is necessary from Zest. Like, Zest, he shut down the Robo production for Stats, so he should know that he's ahead when it comes to Robo units. And opting for a Colossus.
I mean, you can't crowd control Colossus, can you?
Exactly. So I do like this more than Disruptors. Disruptors are prone to being picked up by Phoenixes. Colossus are not, but Colossus are air units, so Phoenixes can still chip away at them.
They are. They're not going to do a lot of damage, though, compared to the other Stargate units. And we've seen in the past, I think one of the most memorable finals we've had in ESL Open Cup Pro Tour Asia was Zest versus Parting, where Parting just went 5 Colossus and let the DPS stack up on top of a lot of armored units.
Yeah, but just like that, Stats takes out 3 of the sentries for free, a probe as well. These Phoenixes already getting a lot of value, and he does scout the Colossus, he scouts the buildings as well. He knows what he is now up against, and now he can transition accordingly, even if he even wants to.
Oh, and look at this. These Phoenixes are getting such good angles. They're going to be shooting at something. There's just not enough. There's just not enough Stalkers on the ground here for Zest, and they're not in the position to really punish the Phoenixes of Stats.
I'm so worried right now. Zest, he's all in. After losing that War Prism, he's just pushing out across the map, and I don't know if that's the right call.
It might not be the right call, but I think it might be the only call right now.
Yeah.
Zest, he knows that Stats does have that second base up. He knows just how far behind he is.
Ooh.
And this could be one of the quickest finals that we've ever had in the ESL Open Cup Asia.
Yeah.
Let's see how Stats and Zest play this out.
Oh my god,
There's a
those
reason
force
why
wheels were amazing. He was able to destroy all of the adepts before the fight even started. But is there enough here?
Hashtag dominant. That has got to be one of the quickest finals we've ever had on an ESL Pro Tour Open Cup Asia. And that was just insane. I can see, now not even knowing how the other semifinals went, I have a feeling that I can visualize just why it was a 3-0 for Stats. Absolutely insane performance.
Like, Zest and Trap are not to be taken lightly. Like, there's a reason why they have made it to finals. They have won tournaments of their own. And to be dominated by Stats, to be 3-0'd by Stats is insane. And we've seen how he does it. Like, Stats was looking insane in this matchup. That was crazy.
But it may just be an online weekly tournament, but I've got to tell you, like, that might have been the best I've seen Stats in quite some time. I'm not sure when I've seen him have this much of a peak. I'm not sure when was the last time I've seen Stats be this untouchable.
Yeah, especially because in the first quarter, or you can even argue the first half, the majority of the first half of 2020, we haven't seen that much from Stats. We've seen him a little bit in online tournaments, but not too many. We've seen him in GSL, but in GSL he kind of underperformed as well. And it was only recently where he started playing in ESL weeklies. And now that we see him playing, like, we were doubting how good he really was this year in 2020, but now he's shut those doubts down. Like, he's looking so good right now. That was insane. Like, to make some of the best players in the world look the way they did today, look bad compared to himself, like,
oh Lord, that's absolutely a treat to see when that happens.
Yeah.
And again, Stats not only look super dominant in these matchups, we saw Trap play PvP.
Yeah.
Unreal.
It's not like Trap was looking bad today. He was looking on point. And unfortunately, we didn't cast that series, but I am also imagine Zest, he's looking in form as well. But Stats
Zest
right now, he
just 3-0
just...
true.
Yeah.
Different matchup, but still.
So Stats, he's looking on point. Like, to be fair, PvP, he's looking on point in this matchup. Maybe overall, it's hard to tell, but I'm excited to see more of him. Especially as, you know, GSL Season 1 is coming to a close. Season 2 will be starting up pretty closely as soon as that finishes.
Yeah,
and
qualifiers are in about a week, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and Stats is definitely a player to look out for.
Nodding my head.
Oh my god. And yeah, like, he could have the best PvP in the world right now. It's hard to say. I think the only other players that you can look to is Parting and SOS, just because they are so different, they are so unorthodox, and because PvP is such a volatile matchup, they maybe you could also favor them. But like, if Stats looks the way he does against Trap and Zest, like, I don't see why you can't say the same about any other Protoss.
Perfect timing, Quirky. Watch the VOD, which will be available soon-ish. Well, I mean, on the Twitch channel, you can watch you can go to the video section and go to recent broadcasts, but also the CranKy Ducklings YouTube channel. We will be uploading each series as its own video fairly soon, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we upload on YouTube daily. We have all our VODs there. We are just finishing up last week's VODs, so soon we will be starting this week's, which includes, you know, this weekend's, like, Battle of the Americas and the Apprentice Cup, and eventually, of course, this tournament, ESL Open Cup number 21 Asia. And yeah, like, the games today were insane. We had some good runs, some good performances by different players. It was cool to see True make it all the way to the semis. That was a little bit unexpected. And yeah, just such a dominant performance by Stats.
Absolutely. As we started to taper off towards the end of today's tournament, I think it got a bit more one-sided. So if you're just looking at the bracket, you would just be thinking, oh, I mean, you know, how exciting can these matches have been? But again, I just want to reiterate, there is a beauty in one-sided matches. Just understanding how and why.
Yeah.
They got to this point.
Yeah, definitely. It was amazing to see, and yeah, as always, like very rarely do we have a disappointing tournament when it comes to these ESL weeklies. It was amazing to see. There were maybe a couple of unfortunate series where like we didn't get to see Scarlet make a deep run. We didn't get to see Max Angel either. You know, they have had historically strong performances in these weeklies, but we were given a treat in these like amazing PvPs and seeing these players look so good. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed right now by my stats.
I'm still reaching for things to say. I'm just still speechless. I'm going to be looking at this VOD just to be looking at stats to stomp, pretty much.
Yeah. And GG, well played. Congratulations to all of our semi-finalists. I say that as ESL Weekly has changed its format. Top 4 do get paid out.
Yeah,
so
True can buy some snacks.
That he can. Yeah, it isn't winner takes all anymore. So all of these players do walk away with some decent cash. And yeah, just congratulations. And I hope we see all of them again next week. We will definitely see Stats, Trap, and Zest. Like they've kind of become regulars. It's definitely cool to see them. Hopefully we see True and some of these others.
Yeah, GPO has Zerg Triumvirate. Now ESL Open Cup Asia. We had the Protoss Triumvirate.
Yeah,
that trifecta, man.
Yeah, it's cool to see. I hope we got to think of a name because we got like the 4 horsemen, the 4 Terran horsemen, right? We need something for like the top Protoss and the top Zerg and stuff like that. Yeah, because they do kind of stand out, like especially these 3 Protoss, right?
There was the Zerg Trinity at some point, which was Sue Dark Rogue.
Yeah.
Cyril watching over and Raynor sort of trying to peek his way in.
Yeah,
No, 6 Protoss Dragons, that's the one.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. that was a long time ago. Yeah. Again, GG, well played. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the games. Do check out the VODs. And before we do leave, Yakuzaku, where are you?
Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, Twitter.com @EmporaYakuzaku, ! Discord, and you will get the invite to the CranKy Ducklings Discord server. I usually hang around there. You can find me there, but do keep in mind I'm not an admin, so don't ask me about when the brackets will be live and whatnot. And other than that, buy my shirts. I'll be streaming on Wednesday. What I'm streaming, I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, Yaku has been streaming more regularly recently. You know, you can see him plank and do push-ups on his bed. In between games, you know, stay healthy, everyone out there, even during these quarantined times, these lockdown times. So yeah, you can definitely tune into him.
Yeah. Where can we find you, Light?
Yeah, you can find me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I also stream occasionally. And yeah, you can follow me on social media as to when I cast and go live. Usually just retweets. But speaking of retweeting, of course, do follow CranKy Ducklings here on Twitch as well as social media. We do have a bunch of social media buttons down below, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you prefer. And yeah, we're live almost daily, 6 days a week. We are live. We have plenty of StarCraft, whether it's Korean StarCraft, North American StarCraft, Southeast Asian. Like we kind of have a little bit for everyone. And yeah, we're just constantly live. And yeah, just support us if you love StarCraft, if you love our casts.
And with that, we're going to be signing off. Once again, do wish Cretan Olsen a happy birthday. Once again. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, stay tuned as we will be raiding another StarCraft 2 streamer. This streamer will be, I think we're going to raid Vivid, as Vivid is currently laddering.
Reliable.
Yeah, he's our go-to, and he's usually live around these times. He is an Australian Zerg pro, or Australian Zerg streamer now. He streams pretty regularly, pretty high-level play, so do give him some love.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bella.